The show, Tennessee Senator Mr. Bill Hagerty, who is a member of the Senate Banking Committee. Senator Hagerty, welcome, sir. So Jeanine Pirro, U.S. Attorney, has closed down her criminal investigation, and so apparently she asked the Inspector General of the Federal Reserve to open up their investigation. At least that's on the surface. You may have more information. But I also know that you and others, including Mr. Tom Tillis, would like to have the Senate Banking Committee investigate the cost overruns at the Fed. And Senator Thune has said not only banking, but maybe Homeland Security. So we have a lot of investigations now. My first question is, will Tom Tillis vote for Kevin Warsh? Is he satisfied now that the Fed's IG will take charge?
Well, Larry, it's great to be with you, and I think this is great news today, too, that U.S. Attorney Pirro has decided to drop the probe. She's appointed, or I should say, Michael Horowitz, who's the Fed IG, has stepped up. Horowitz has got a strong reputation. I think that's a very good sign. And I think that Senator Tillis, this is the condition that he'd asked for, that this be dropped. It has been dropped. I spoke with him. I spoke with Senator Scott about this. I'm optimistic that we're on the path now to schedule Kevin Warsh's confirmation hearing vote, get the vote done out of the Senate Banking Committee and get him onto the floor, where I fully expect him to be confirmed as the next Fed chairman.
So Senator Tillis is not going to insist on anything else. I mean, for example, a Senate Banking Committee investigation.
I'm not aware of other conditions, and as I said, I'm optimistic. I think we all want to see this move forward. We're getting very close to the point in time that current chair Jay Powell is going to finish the end of his term. We need to have Kevin Warsh in position. Kevin is prepared and ready to go. You know Kevin, I do too. He's absolutely the right man for the job right now, and I think we've got everything in place to move this forward. So hopefully this is the last step. The Horowitz investigation will be launched. That will happen within the Fed. That'll allow for accountability that I think everybody would like to see. At the same time, we'd also like to see this confirmation move forward. And not only, Larry, do I expect that every Republican will support Kevin Warsh in the Senate Banking Committee, I think there should be a large number of Democrats in the Senate Banking Committee that would support him. He did a textbook performance in his hearing. Kevin did an excellent job, and I think it'd be hard-pressed to not find a number of Democrats that don't want to support him as well for this important position.
Senator Hagerty, how quickly do you think you can get a vote on the? Let's see, you need a vote in the committee and then a vote on the floor.
Exactly, Larry. The committee vote can be noticed in then 3 days, so it could be noticed as late as this coming Monday, and we could have the hearing on Friday, the vote on Friday in committee, Thursday, Friday in committee before we leave, and be ready to vote him back on the floor. There'll be another 30-hour window once Senator Thune puts the nomination on the floor of the Senate to vote on it. That clock will start ticking. But I think we've got time right now to do it. So I hope we can move post-haste, get it scheduled, get Kevin voted out of the Banking Committee and onto the floor of the Senate.
Well, he would surely make a first-rate Fed chair. You're absolutely right. I watched the entire hearing, and I appreciated your remarks in that hearing, too. And you're right. It really should be bipartisan, for heaven's sakes. But these things never seem to be nowadays. Senator Hagerty, let me ask one more thing. You know, you're a former ambassador to Japan. You're a foreign policy expert. On these Iran talks, presumably coming up this weekend in Pakistan, do you have a thought on this? Because we were just talking to Robert O'Brien, whom you know well, former national security advisor.
Indeed.
I mean, Iran has to accede to American demands and requirements, does it not? There's no running room here. We've won the war. They're going bankrupt. They're starving. And, you know, they're all, gruesome Nazi-like monsters. I mean, to me, it's unconditional surrender. I don't know what you're thinking.
Larry, you and Robert laid it out so well. I had the benefit of watching the segment just before. And two great minds. I think you nailed it, particularly the point that you made, Larry, in terms of their oil storage capacity coming to an end. As that's exhausted, they moved out a very old super tanker today. You may have seen that. That shows a last-ditch sign of desperation. They're trying to find some place to store this oil. They've reached out. Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff are flying over to Pakistan now. They're great negotiators and very close to the president. I think it's very clear that they speak for the president, and I think the Iranians are figuring this out. They need to figure out an answer here. They need to take the off-ramp, because if they don't, they're going to drive straight off the cliff.
Yeah, that's the thing. Refining capacity is gone. They're running out of gasoline, which is a killer, right? Societies that run out of gas, or modern societies that run out of gasoline, Senator Hagerty, usually fireworks occur. I mean, I think it's set up for a revolution. The civilian population is ready to go. And I just want the U.S. to keep all these pressure points from the blockade right on. Continue it. Keep those pressure points on.
You're exactly right. I couldn't agree with you more, Larry. That's exactly the way to play it. When you and I were in the previous Trump administration, maximum pressure was working.
Right.
And I think it would have worked had John Kerry not pleaded with the Iranians to wait to see what would happen with the election. Now we're right back in the same boat because the Bidens came in and immediately released sanctions enforcement, took the Houthis off the watch list, and what do you see? Terrorism emanating from the Middle East again, the Iranians marching toward a nuclear weapon. It took President Trump to step up and stop this. Indeed, he has and he will.
All right, Senator Hagerty, thank you, sir. We appreciate it, as always.
Great to be with you, Larry.
You betcha.
Thank you.